And I am also putting the share on for anyone that wants to put on any plans. Okay, good morning, everyone. We're here for the Village of Airmont for the Community Design Review Committee, Tuesday, April 8th, 2025 at 11:06 a.m. Our first application is for Shulam Schick for 245 Cherry Lane, a proposed freestanding place of worship under 10,000 square feet. We have a proposed site plan and architecturals.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning. So do you want to start, Paul?
Yeah, I'll guess I'll jump in here. After the last CDRC meeting, we went in, we looked at the plans, we looked at the size. We can't qualify, obviously, for the residential place of worship or place of assembly because of the size of the space and the number of congregants that could gather there. So we're now classified, I think, as a freestanding place of worship under 10,000 square feet. The total square footage of both the residential and religious aspect of the project is 6,087 square feet. 4,095 is the synagogue, and the rabbi's quarters will be 1,992 square feet. We almost got into full compliance with all the requirements of the zone, with the exception of parking. Because the site slopes down as you move away from Cherry Lane, if we were to push the parking a little further back and try to go about, I think, 8 feet or 10 feet from the property line that the code allows, we'd have a retaining wall that would probably be 8 or 9 feet high. So we ruled out going back further because of the the size of that retaining wall. So what we had to do is come out more towards the front and now we need that variance from the front yard requirement that we were trying to avoid, but we can't avoid it. So there's no other good layout unless there's something that you guys could see to get the additional parking in. We did create 2 spaces for the residential component to the north of the site, and they'll come in off that little piece of existing driveway that now serves the house, and that'll be a sort of a one-way in, one-way out. There won't be any more loop road, and the loop will be discontinued. So you have our narrative. We've submitted all the plans. I'm interested to hear what the board's comments are with regard to the project.
Lou, do you want to start?
Oh, I was hoping Al would start, but I
Okay, we can do Al, whatever you want.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, we have, obviously the catch-all is you have to refer everything to the county, town agencies, building inspector, fire inspector. We still need a SHPO report. I believe you had sent it in, but we haven't received anything back yet.
We did get it, Al.
Okay.
March 19th. I thought we submitted it, but they said it's there's no impacts. So we'll send that.
I'll read.
That's good news.
Wow.
All right. Then we said, that this probably is 239, just
Yes,
because
it is.
it's proximity to the county road. On the drainage, I want to see more on the pre and post drainage flows. I didn't have that. And then we had to discuss traffic, and probably a traffic study be required at least by the planning board when we get to that point.
Yeah,
The
typically when we get 50 people or more, we do traffic studies.
So the parking is obviously at issue. If your engineers want to discuss anything with me about other possibilities, I'm more than willing to assist. That's all I have.
Okay, I guess I'll go. I did a head count on the 1,632 square feet of the religious areas. It's seating for 82, so it would definitely require a traffic study. The only other issue I had was the 3 road openings that you currently have on there, one for the new parking lot, one for the existing gravel parking lot, and that one at the end that you're claiming to use for the residents. I don't know how that's remotely legal. It's too close to the corner for a sight distance issue. So I don't know when that was put in or what, sort of gypsy engineering put that in, but
Well,
that's,
my understanding, Lou, is it's existed like that for, 40, 50 years or whatever. The, the section in front of the house of worship, that's where it says gravel, that's all being eliminated to my understanding. So
oh,
we'll only
Yeah.
have the one curb cut for the parking lot for the house of worship. And the plan was just for the single family house to continue the existing driveway that it's always used for those, access to those 2 spaces for the
actually,
residential component.
when I started here, the garage, which is now the house of worship, was where they parked their cars. So I've never seen anybody park in that loop driveway ever. So I don't, it may have been there and it may have been there for a long time, but I don't think anybody's used it. And it looks like a mix of gravel and pavers and pavement and pavers and gravel. So if there's some other way to configure that or move those 2 spots closer to the house of worship area, but I don't know if because this is gonna have to be reviewed, that's a county road. I don't
Yeah.
think, I think that road cut's gonna be a problem that close to the corner, and it's literally 3 feet from a fire hydrant.
Well, again, I mean, it's only, if we didn't put this house of worship on, it would exist and it would be continued to be used. And I realize the county might have a say about it, and they may say, no, we don't want it, get rid of it. And then we'll have to figure out some other configuration. But I guess our thinking was, well, it's been used for now. It's not going to be used in connection with the synagogue. So, maybe it's a good access just for the 2 single family parking spaces that keep it away from the parking lot. So that is an unknown, but that was the thought process behind putting them over there.
All right,
Okay, we have a letter from Tolman Fire dated 4/6. They're saying in the comments, it states the radius is shown, but in the plans, it's not actually shown. They need clarification. So
Okay, I can change that. That's fine.
okay. So you'll change the plans and I'll resubmit to them?
Well, because I think that previously we had it just straight in and we added a radius, but I mean, if you want to have it added and labeled, we can do that.
I'll leave that to Lou to decide.
they want to see it. I don't know how we're gonna solve that problem without them seeing it.
Okay.
All right, we can add it and get that back.
All right. And there's the fire inspector letter dated April 1st. They were satisfied because the building is under 30 feet. So CDRC, what's the next steps?
Yeah, I don't have any issues with them moving forward if they clean up the plans a little, they put a TBR on the gravel section where they're currently parking. Is there some other way we can remove some of the walkways and pavers and junk to try and drop that developmental coverage number down? I mean, you got a concrete pad in the back, you got a stone walkway off of Blossom, you got paver sections,
We can talk to the
the
we
owner.
can talk to the applicant about some of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much it's gonna drop anything, but you got a lot of concrete all over the place.
Yeah, the gravel in the front, did not count it. I thought because I had it being removed, but I'll label it better. And then I just have like the sidewalk that's along the parking. It goes to all the entrances and around to the front
Right.
door to the residence. So that part will stay, but I'll find out if we can get rid of that other stone access to Blossom or the stuff in the back.
Yeah, because there's a lot of junk up there.
So Lou, while you're mentioning that, let's assume we go to the county and the county doesn't have a problem with the existing curb cut that's close to Blossom.
Mm-hmm.
And we show it as gravel to remain. Do you have a problem with it being gravel, or would you
No,
guys
I don't.
want to see it paved?
I would prefer not to be seeing paved because then you're gonna drive the coverage up higher.
Right.
So I counted the gravel there as impervious, because I know sometimes some of the municipalities have been counting if it's like where you would drive over, because it gets compacted.
It
So
does.
that gravel I counted as impervious, so it's not gonna make it worse. I
Okay.
figured I'd rather ask for the higher number and think that this is impervious than come back later and it's a problem when it gets
Well,
compacted, so.
if you did count it that way, then I'm fine with if the county doesn't have an issue with it paving it.
Okay.
But getting rid of the pavers and only going up to those parking spaces and then getting rid of the pavers and the pavement in front of the building where you're putting the walkway.
Yeah, I was just showing that like the pavement would just continue to where the sidewalk was. But I could probably end it a little bit before and extend the sidewalk instead. But I wanted something that would connect where they're parking to the front door. But I'm cutting it off where the sidewalk starts.
Fine.
So it's not that much further. I think that the first thing would be to hear from the county highway, hopefully.
No.
All right, so if we just label the radius in the front for the fire department, can we submit so that it could go for planning?
I'm asking Alan, Lou, and Chris, can they do that and go to planning? And they have to do you have to do a traffic report for planning for the secret. Just, can I ask a question? The parking waiver you're asking from planning board as a waiver, correct?
Yes.
And then the variance for the front yard? And then what about the developmental cover that's under a waiver? Is that ZBA too?
No, the development coverage is a mandatory waiver from the planning board under the.
Alrighty, we're under the
local laws.
religious, yeah,
As long
under the
as we-
religious
As long
thing.
as we meet
Yep.
the
The
stormwater
Stormwater,
control.
I forgot
and
about that. Okay,
Provide the basic.
yep, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't have a problem them going to planning as long as they get all this stuff straightened out, you know?
Okay,
Just don't submit what you have, just give us more info.
okay,
No issues here.
all right. So then you can submit for the planning board.
All right, well, we'll make these changes to the plans. We'll get it in so we can hear back from the county. Planning and highway, which will obviously have an impact on
Yes,
the current layout and
Suzanne, what will be your deadline?
I was just looking that up. Well, April 10th, I don't know if you'll make it, is the deadline for the May meeting. May 16th for the June 26th meeting.
Okay.
April 10 for May 22, May 16 for June 26.
Okay, we'll see what we can do.
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
You go.
All right. The next application is Shiraz Miriam of Rockland County, Inc. for 46 Campbell Ave, a proposed school of religious instruction with the caretaker's residence, proposed site plan and preliminary architecturals. And I think everybody's the same on this one too. Paul, Rachel, and Solomon.
Okay. I know Rachel has lived with this project a little longer than I have, and she's much more familiar with it and the history. But I know she's not feeling 100% this morning, so I'm trying to take the lead and spare her voice. So I know you've been to the CDRC last couple of months ago, I guess,
October.
October.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the revised plans that submitted to address some of the prior comments.
Did you get those prior Fusco comments, by the way? From October, Paul?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I have them.
Okay.
I have them.
I didn't know if you received them.
Yeah, no, I got them. So you know, you guys see where it is. It's at 46 Campbell. It's the three lots that were combined. And now it's one big lot. And the plan is to put this school on there to serve up to 200 students. I know there's a lot going on Campbell Avenue these days. We got the project at 83. We got the project at 52 that was approved. Obviously, we'll do our traffic study for this project. The school building is a basement, 2 stories, consisting of 54,700 square feet. The school has a current enrollment of 150, so they're designing this place to go up to 200 students. We provided the staffing requirements and the numbers and the days of operation. All transportation will be by bus. We are going to need a variance on parking, as almost every school project does. There is no GML on this project because
Correct.
it's not within any of the 200 feet, 500-foot parameters. And you see, we need quite a few variances. Some of them are just, for parking, to get that parking in as much as possible. We're going to be encroaching into the front yard. The plan is to maintain the existing single-family residence that's on the site for a caretaker's quarters. And that's what we got. So we're interested to, move this forward. Did we get? I thought I saw fire department. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a fire department letter. I believe they were fine with it. I
Yeah,
didn't get a
we
fire
didn't get anything
inspector
from the
letter.
fire inspector, right?
No, actually, he just walked by, but I didn't get a chance to ask him. I didn't receive it as of yet, but I'll follow up and forward anything I have. I will have to send it where the location is to Village of Suffern and Town of Ramapo because they're right there by Craigmere. Part of that's unincorporated Town of Ramapo, and then going further is the Village of Suffern, I believe. Right, Lou?
Yep.
I don't know if Montebello is close enough, but I have to look at the map.
That's that 239 GML review for adjacent municipalities or something?
Yeah, I just have to check that. Yeah, there's no Rockland County planning, but I just want to check the other locations. I have to look at the map.
Okay.
I just wanted to point that out. And then I compared, I know it's not in Fusco's new letter, but they had asked for a long EAF in the October review. I did not get a long EAF. I don't know if he still is requiring it, Al.
I had one in my file.
You did? Okay, as long as you have it.
Yeah, I had one in my file because I
Okay.
I
Oh, yes,
crossed that
it's now
comment out.
provided.
It was submitted. There was
Okay,
there
then
was
I missed
a
it.
full EAF, March 18th. I think this was the one that you asked for it signed and I resent it.
Oh, okay,
Sure.
that's why, the signing. Thank you. All right, so we're good with that.
Yep, I think.
Al, you want to go through your letter?
Sure. The project it's a unlisted action under seeker and it requires coordinated review. Seeker resolution will be prepared when the board is ready to complete seeker, establish notice of intent and circulate. Provide a list of all involved and interested agencies by the applicant. Provide ZBA variance information, including date of variance type on the plan, if granted. There has been a significant reduction in some of the variances, so just list them all. The village traffic engineer should determine if a traffic impact study is required in the scope of the study. Rockland County Health Department and sewer review is required. DPW, Ramapo DPW is required. Lot consolidation merger of 3 lots appears to have been completed. Approval is required for the Rockland County Health Department for the proposed pool. Switch into engineering. Stormwater maintenance agreement and bond will be required. Provide cost estimate for all site plan improvements. Pipe size calculations should be provided for the storm drainage. Fire lane striping needs to be 8 feet. No parking signs need to be shown. That's all I have at this time.
Okay, the architectural still say 42, 44, and 46. When you submit for planning, it should say 46, so it's clear to planning, like in Rachel's site plan, that it's 46, that the lots are merged. Because you did give me proof of that in the October meeting, but it's kind of misleading on the architecturals. Lou, did you have anything?
I only reviewing the plans. I didn't see. I know I'm sure these are preliminary plans, but I didn't see any notations about the sprinkler room or the any of the sprinkler issues. And I'm sure it's got to be sprinkler based on the volume you got there. I also did not see any notations on the large auditorium and cafeteria and full kitchen being used for other applications like we've done for all the other schools.
It was the cafeteria and what else? I'm sorry.
An auditorium
Oh, auditorium. Thank you.
had a very large kitchen down in the basement.
Hmm.
And there's landscaping on there, right?
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure they're gonna have to spruce that up a little bit.
Wait, what? Lou's comment. What was it that the alternative uses?
Correct, like we've done on all the other school applications, when there's a large utility room or not utility room, multi-use room or auditorium that can be used for other things. Like we did on 10 DeBon and on all the other schools in the area. So it's not rented out or
14 to 1.
14 DeBon or leased out for wedding halls or kiddish rooms or because you don't have enough parking to support any of that.
So you want a map note is what you're saying?
Yep, like we did on all the other ones.
Okay. All right.
And this building shouldn't require standpipes. I know that the fire inspector didn't mention it, but based on the height, it shouldn't, but it does require a sprinkler system. And no buses can be stored on the property either. But that's a standard map note.
So no standpipes are
I
required.
don't think you need one.
But you need sprinklers.
You do need sprinklers. And I did calculate out the student load based on the classrooms, and it's 365 is potential.
Did you happen to look at these variances?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Seems to be appropriate.
Okay.
The only other question I had was the 4-foot fence. It says the 6-foot fence is on the rear section of the lot, and then it's progressing to a 4-foot fence in the front yard, but I couldn't tell where the fence stopped. Does it stop prior to the road? I think there's got to be 20 feet of sight distance so you can see past the fence. And does it go across the front of the property?
We did not show a fence in the front of the property. It was along the sides. and it stops before the DSL.
Okay,
And yeah, it just so that, because I know the fence can only be 6 feet in the front yard, so that's why it'll transition to that's why it'll transition to the 4 foot for the front,
Right.
sorry.
yeah, I just didn't know where it stopped. I said there was a lot of lines there and I couldn't tell where the fence ended.
Sorry,
That's
I'll try to
okay.
make it clear.
There's a lot of stuff on there.
And I believe when I talked to Coleman, and I was in touch with Ron, he knows to include the other projects on that road in the traffic study.
That's correct.
Okay, I thought so. It's just, I wanted to be sure.
Yeah, he's in,
52
he's in
Campbell
process
and
of
83.
preparing it.
Okay, okay. All right.
That's all I got.
Hmm.
So next step, CDRC. Planning.
I defer to Lou and Al on this one. I don't have an issue from the legal standpoint, but
I don't.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm okay if they address all this stuff, before they get on an agenda, get something going.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right, so then it goes to planning board.
So, just one question.
Yeah.
Al, in your planning comments, you said that the village traffic engineer should determine if a traffic impact study is required. I'm gonna assume one's required. You guys are gonna want to see it.
Most
I
definitely.
would say yes, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to ask Osman whether he recommends it. I think
No.
you guys are gonna want it, the planning board's gonna want it, the public is gonna want it, so.
Yeah, and as a matter of practice, anything that's 50 or more, we've been doing them all along.
Okay,
The minimum of 200.
Yeah. So definitely. All right, and if I get anything from the fire inspector, I'll forward it, so you have it, any comments for when you submit for planning board? In case he has anything, I have no idea, but I'll follow up after CDRC with him and let you know.
that would be helpful.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thanks, I appreciate your
Okay.
time.
thanks,
Have a great
everybody.
day.
Thank
Okay, our
you.
next, thank you. The next application is for Laura Sullivan for 21 Edgebrook Lane. It's a proposal for a backyard garage structure, and we have a proposed site plan. I did not send this to the fire inspector unless sprinklers were required, which I don't know or believe, but I'll leave that to Lou. And Tallman said they didn't think they needed to see it either. We'll go through Al's letter, and on for the applicant. We have Ramsey Sullivan. I don't know if I forgot the other person's name.
David Rivera is
Oh,
on the
yes.
call.
Okay,
Yes,
David, thank
he
you.
should be on. Yep.
Okay. All right. So is he on?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
he's
Okay.
on the that 845 phone number.
Okay. He's muted, so we won't be able to hear him. He's got to unmute himself, please.
Okay.
All right. When he speaks. So do you want to just go through a summary, one of you explaining what you're doing on this application?
Yeah, I just
You
I
know,
just
kind of like re-summarize quickly your narrative summary.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, I just texted him. So what we have is we have a indoor garage that I'm looking to put on the back of my property. basically as a place for my 9-year-old son and I. You know, we do football, baseball, and lacrosse in Suffern. And whether it's days like today or yesterday over the winter, we're always having a hard time finding a place to go and play, or we have to rent space or drive, 45 minutes to a different town or county. And, we just want something for us, for, probably his teammates to kind of come over, when we were looking to do something and the weather was bad. And we have a decent amount of room on that back half, which we're not using at the moment. And we decided that we would like to do this right now. And I think David just got my message, so he should be jumping on.
Okay. Lou, you want to just explain quickly the code and why it has to go to planning?
Sure. It's
The accessory structures and buildings.
right. Let's see what we got. Accessory structure code 210-45, accessory structure 210-45E. Individual accessory buildings and structures greater than 144 feet in ground floor area or greater than 10 feet in height shall meet the following requirements. 1. Accessory buildings and structures permitted under this section shall comply with the front yard, rear yard, and side yard requirements specified in 210 and shall be limited in height to a maximum of 20 feet to the highest point of the building or structure. And 2, the construction of an accessory structure or building over 1,000 square feet in ground floor area or greater shall require the approval of the planning board pursuant to the requirements of 210-74. That's why we're here, because building is greater than 1,000 square feet.
Okay. Thank you. Just for the record.
No problem.
Okay. Mr. Rivera asked if there was a phone number for him to call in. He said that his audio is not working, but he is on with us, and that's his phone number up there.
There's a phone number on the link that I sent. If he goes to the link, there's a phone number on the bottom.
Okay.
Dial by your location 646-558-8656. And then there's a meeting ID and passcode. Do you need me to read it?
Sure. I'll just write that down for him.
Okay, meeting ID is 838-4956-3634. And the passcode is 361856.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's fine though. If he's just communicating with me right now.
I don't know. There's background noise from somebody. It's either Al or Mr. Sullivan.
No, it's not me.
Okay.
I could mute mine and see if that.
Yeah, because you can hear everybody talking in the back. Yep, I think it was you, Ramsey. Thank you.
Want me to go over my stuff?
Yeah, let's go review your letter.
All right, 210-16, R35C residential district allows for accessory structures. 210-45 is already noted. It's got to go to planning board. I saw it had a max height of 20 feet at the highest point on the structure. The indicate on the bulk requirements, it said under 35. State the use of the pole barn, which he's mentioned. Show a rendering for the board just so they see what it is. If it's a pole barn company. They have those brochures generally. I just put one up, so I'm familiar with it. And we need a signed EAF. There is one submitted, but need to be signed. Show topography and stamp survey by a licensed surveyor to make sure that the property is, that the setbacks are correct. Show a little erosion control because they're going to be, building a little silt fence. Show access. It doesn't really show access to that unless it's just going to be walking from the house back. And will the barn have water, sewer, electric? Just answered questions of that. Local agency input as required. The seeker had some wetland mapping requirements and floodplain, 100-year floodplain location, stamp signed plans, and a stormwater review. That's it.
All right. I have David on the phone with me now. Go ahead, David.
Yes, Mr. Fusco, we do plan on meeting all the requirements that you did outline. We do have, we're just waiting on actually purchasing the stamp plans upon approval of going through the board here in order to continue. We do meet the height requirements, and we'll also have the engineer sign the short form.
Good.
What about with the wetland mapping and the floodplain? Are you looking for a wetland review letter?
How about the wetland
We're not
buffer?
in the wetland.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
We're not in a wetland, ma'am.
You're within 100 feet of a wetland, which is within the village wetland buffer.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize it. It's not, is it federally or DEC delineated? Or does
No,
that
it's the
matter?
village.
You
It's
guys
the
have it
village.
delineated?
It's not a federal or a DEC wetland. It's a village wetland buffer for any wetland.
Okay. Okay, so in other words, there's no building allowed within 100 foot of that? Is that what you're saying?
No. You have to get a variance and get a wetland permit.
Oh, okay, all right, was unaware of that.
All right, so basically I'll go over that with you after the meeting. It's just adding a check to the application for other, and you have to show the wetland and provide a narrative just basically stating how much it's interfering into this 100-foot wetland buffer. And then the village engineer does a calculation and I collect a fee for that.
Okay, yeah, and that will, I guess that, the portion of water, body of water there, wetland, as you guys said, it will be delineated on the survey, but sure, we can go over that. We were unaware of that, honestly, so.
It's delineated on your on the current drawings we have. So I used their scale and measured it, and you're definitely within the 100 feet.
Gotcha. We didn't realize your rule, that's all. And again,
could you
on the
also
federal
put
order,
on?
DEC wasn't delineated.
Could you also put the trenching for the electrical and plumbing and sewer? How are you running that?
Yes. Well, we plan on doing that, and if you guys require that, that's not a problem. But we did plan on doing that in the planning phase and building department phase.
Okay. Sometimes the planning board asks because if they don't see it, they don't. You're putting a bathroom and stuff in there, so they're going to need to see how you're running the sewage and the water, or you're putting in. You don't have septic, so it's a lengthy run.
This is
Yes. Well, we would have to grind it and send it. We wouldn't be looking for natural flow.
No, I hope not.
Yeah. So.
That would never work.
this has to go to ARC, correct?
Why?
I'm asking, I don't know.
It's not a commercial building. Does it
Okay.
have ARC? You're not renting it out, and you're not charging people to use it, are you?
No.
Okay,
right.
so no ARC. Okay.
Are you going to put any sort of plantings behind this thing to block it from your neighbors?
There is natural, trees and whatnot there already, obviously, as they fill in during the, spring and summer. It will, certainly block it. The building is going to be appealing. It's not going to be stand out.
Well, except that it's big and it's only 10 feet from the property line. So I don't know how many natural trees you're gonna have left once you start running over roots.
Mhm.
But do you
Uh,
need
Well,
that
if that's
shown on
what
the plan?
we would certainly be willing to do so.
Okay. No,
Lou,
no,
you-
Maybe
we
something
could,
in the form of like arborvitae, green giant, thule.
please don't. The deer food is, I mean, shrubberies will work. We'll discuss that later.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys require at this point?
No.
is this gonna require a stormwater management agreement?
Oh, dear goodness.
I'm only asking because of the wetland permit.
Right. And I don't know where they're gonna divert stormwater to. I mean, it's 1,200. I mean, that's up to Al.
Yeah, it depends on how the plan, that's why I wanted to see, water, sewer, trenching and all of
Okay.
that kind of stuff. So we'll
So you
review.
need to see that first. Okay.
Right.
So you need to see a site plan with all those things on it
Yeah, and the topo too,
and the topo. Okay. And erosion control.
right.
Okay. So is this coming back to CDRC when they do all that, or are you sending them to planning?
Awful lot to send them straight to planning, I think, but
I'm asking you guys determine.
asking now.
Al?
I am, I don't have a problem with it because it's pretty simple, but they have to submit something that's, got everything included what we've just spoken about.
We certainly could do that.
Yeah, David said that we can get that done if that's what's required.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. So initially we had thought you had to go to ARC, which you checked off on the application, so you didn't have to redo it. When you submit for planning, you can wipe that out because you can use the same application. It's already checked off for planning, but we have to add the wetland permit, which I can talk to you after the meeting. The submission deadlines are for the planning board, 12 o'clock on April 10th for May 22nd. I don't know if you would make that. Otherwise, May 16th for a June 26th planning board. And I can email you the calendar and below the calendar dates. Planning board likes a smaller set of plans, so all the instructions are there. I'll just email it to you when we're done with the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as long as all the changes are met and resubmitted to go to planning. All right,
Will we be getting a list of those changes or emailed or?
well, it's everything that's in Mr. Fusco's letter
Mhm.
and what was discussed in the meeting. I can recap it for you, but
No, that's okay.
it's not a problem.
Do you want that recap, David, or no?
I can do it. It's fine. It's part of the CDRC minutes. I mostly refer to the Fusco memo, but I can add a couple little things to it.
As long as Fusco's covers it, we have that.
Okay. So that's everything. I'll send you a few items, and if you have any questions, just give me a call or come in.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time.
Okay, have a good day. Oh, wait. Lou, you said variances?
What?
Does this need variances?
None that I see.
None? Okay, so it's just planning. I just wanted to verify that. Okay,
All right.
all right. Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
You too. Thank you.
Happy
Thanks,
holidays to
everyone.
everybody.
Happy holidays.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.